This is your announcer, Shannon St. Mainframe, welcoming you to our IP Livecast. It's March Madness and my bracket is already busted. No, not that stupid college basketball thing. My Livecast Hall of Fame death pool bracket. I never thought Douglas Leverson would make it past 60. Come on, Doug, you're costing me money here. Who are you? Our IP Livecast starts now.
Who are you? It is March 18th. And welcome to RIP Livecast. Rob here with Sid and Darren.
I'm not going to say who my pick in the death pool is, but let's just say I hope there's a sudden power surge in any area where certain ab controlling mechanisms are being used. That would help me out a lot, I'm just saying, financially.
With that said, welcome to RIP Livecast. We're live every Saturday afternoon at around noon Eastern time.
Maybe a sudden Zamboni slip would help too.
And of course, we are live on Twitch and YouTube and archived to be listened to wherever you listen to your fine podcasts, be it Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or what have you. You could watch the archive on our YouTube channel, RIP Livecast. Of course, as always, we welcome your feedback. We'd love to hear from our fanses. You can email us at riplivecast@gmail.com. That's our email address. Or, hit us up on any social media at RIP Livecast. Plus, we also have a Discord. That's right, a live 24/7 chat. You can chat with us at riplivecast.com. There's an invite there. Pretty much all the plugs. Of course, there's our Patreon. We'll talk a little bit more about that later. But with the mention of the hints of Motley Crue, let's just dive right into it. I didn't realize, but there's a new Crue feud to do.
No.
And as we've been following, we've been spending so much time on the plight of Vince Neil to get back into shape. I feel like we haven't dedicated enough time to Mick Mars and his retirement.
Mick Who Mars, I should of course, the death pool, by the way.
My God. He's off the board. The odds, they're not taking bets on that anymore.
The bookies don't want to even get involved in that. No. Okay. Rob, don't hit me with any bad Motley. The world is going to shit so hard right now. I just can't take bad Motley Crue news. Okay.
Well, no, this is good news. This is Motley Crue fighting back.
Thank you. Thank you.
So Mick Mars, of course, has retired from touring. And I feel like we sort of brushed over that. It's something that we said needed to be done perhaps a decade ago. At their last retirement tour, he shouldn't have even been on the tour, even before this comeback tour. They did their stadium tour, which was the big comeback tour, which I'm sure got them all millions of dollars a night. He was willing to do that. And then they wanted to do another one. And he said, no, fuck this. So the PR spin is he's retired from touring. And Mick Mars isn't somebody that gives interviews.
Right.
Mick, we never
really
heard.
He doesn't have the strength to speak. Right. How can he give an interview?
He won't be touring with Motley Crue anymore, but he will be touring scoliosis facilities around the U.S.
Appearing at the Mayo Clinic this summer.
Bone Marrow Treatment Center, Waukegan, Illinois.
He has an arthritis of the spine, by the way.
Sorry.
It's called ankylosing spondylitis.
The saddest Cannibal Corpse song.
Or Carcass.
So as I mentioned, he hasn't really given any interviews. He never really gave his POV on the retirement. All we really heard was the press release, which it's coming from Motley Crue. If there was any sort of politics or drama, they're not going to put it in the press release. So as I was saying, he's not doing interviews, but who is doing interviews? Mick Mars' good friend and friend of the show, RIP Livecast alumnus Carmine Appice.
Oh, they say Mark B.
Mark B.
Yeah, I thought maybe he was. Well, he's a good friend of the show, sort of.
You think he has a ticket?
Throw a set of balls. Don't go online.
That's his advice to Mick Mars.
Right. Don't go on tour.
Move the fuck out
of the tour bus. Did you call him Carmine a pussy? Why would you say that?
Appice.
That was
peach.
That happened the last time we
Appice?
mentioned his
Yeah.
name, I think.
No, because him and his brother both pronounce their last name differently.
Which is
I
how
guess
and
it's
how.
Appice and Appice. Or
You see, you don't even know what.
Appice. Wait, Carmine Appice, and yes,
Vinny
and
is the other
Vinny
one.
Appice. Yeah.
I was saying, Rob's defense, I do think that is. I mean, we had this debate the last time this came up, and we were perplexed as to how he pronounced his name.
So, anywho, I love about Carmine. If you're not familiar with him, he is a legendary prog metal drummer, and
Allegedly.
very, very. I think he's in the Hall of Fame. I'm pretty sure. So that
The Livecast Hall of
him.
Fame, or
Don't.
No. The Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Oh, that shit doesn't matter. I thought you meant ours.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
No. So what I love about Carmine, he's a New Yorker. I think when we interviewed him, we talked about growing up in the neighborhood, and he grew up in Bensonhurst. But now, of course, he's a retired Angelino, as they say, and I feel like he don't give a fuck. Like he can say whatever he wants. It's not going to prevent him from making any money or getting any gig. He doesn't have to do anything. You know what I mean? So I feel like when he offers an opinion, there's no political intent behind it. Yeah, there's no agenda. It's just his true feeling, or what probably really happened. So he's friends with that said, he's friends with Mick Mars. And he was asked by Ultimate Guitar Magazine what Carmine's thoughts were on Mick Mars leaving Motley Crue.
What a random thing to ask. You got this legendary musician here. You're just going to ask him about some other musician?
Well, maybe it was just a long form interview, and they, Carmine responds, well, I tell you what, I've been talking to Mick, and he told me when I was on the stadium tour, I was not happy. Basically, everything was on tape. It was all planned out, and ultimately a lot of crap. And Mick is a pretty good player. And so now let him loose and play the way he wants. That was never going to work for him. The truth is that everything has been weird for a while with Motley Crue, and Mick didn't like that everything was on tape. Mick told me that people that came to see it could tell that it was all pre-recorded and everything was on tape. When you play in a stadium like that, you can hear a lot of things come to the monitors, or what doesn't. And with Vince's vocals, bass, drums, guitars, all that other stuff, it was obvious it was all on tape. And Mick was pissed off and said, I can play these things. I want to play them. I don't want to make believe I'm playing them. So
wait, Mick Mars wants to do more work? I find it a little hard.
He's old school. He wants to play.
He's just old.
I believe that he thinks he could still play that stuff, but I also believe that the rest of the band knows that he cannot.
Yeah.
That's a fair point.
They probably made it seem like they all needed it just to be nice to Mick.
Right. Okay, that's very fair. That is a POV that obviously I would feel he would not agree with,
I'm sure.
So one moment. Okay. So Carmine continues. So I think that's one of the reasons why he said, I'm done. Sure, the disease that he has, that doesn't help.
The crippling illness.
That's
and
it
doesn't make life easy on tour. But Mick can play all the licks, and he was allowed to. So Mick wasn't getting along with the rest of the band, Carmine is asked. No, he wasn't.
Oh.
And really, at this point, it's like, Carmine, why are you speaking for Mick? Like, if you're his friend.
Again, Mick cannot speak.
Right. When he had his oxygen nurse in the room, he would voice his opinions for that 2
He
minutes
needs
a day.
someone to like wipe his butt for him, let alone speak for him in interviews. For God's sake, Rob.
He wasn't. He had his own means of travel and would travel alone on a bus while the other guys flew everywhere.
In a
He said-
hyperbaric chamber.
Yeah. They can't put his iron lung on the plane.
You're bumming out the roadies, Mick. Come on, get out of here. Can we at least put a curtain up? Put you behind a curtain? Jesus Christ.
So,
You have to
Yeah,
check
so
his
Carmine-
adrenochrome and at the Delta counter.
Oh my God.
he said, man, these guys are pissing their money away flying to every gig. They were all busy still trying to be rock stars, and Mick just wanted to play the music. Mick wasn't interested in wasting time and money flying everywhere, so he traveled by bus.
Hold on. Is it really an entitled rock star thing to go on a plane? Like, isn't that just a
I'm
part of modern
imagining-
life?
No, well, I'm imagining they don't just go on a plane, they get a private jet for themselves.
What's
So
the
what?
point of being in Motley Crue if you can't do that stuff? Like, isn't that the whole reason you're in that band?
Yeah,
To live that
exactly.
lifestyle and have comfort? Like, they're fucking
And that's
in
the
their
other thing.
60s.
Mick is saying that they're pissing their money away. Like, what do you need this money for? I guess
Well,
probably
medical bills.
yeah.
Jesus
yeah.
Christ.
yeah.
Nurses.
Sorry.
He don't
Mick
qualify
wasn't
for Medicaid.
Yeah, and it feels like if you're, I guess also though, but if he has this bone ailment, like flying is really hard on that kind of thing, you know. Like I feel like the elevation changes affects your bones.
So
So
driving on a fucking bus down the I-95.
I was just gonna say, but then again,
Yeah.
so does being in a fucking bus the whole time. So maybe like with the plane, you know, it's a 45-minute plane ride to the next town versus a 6 to 8 hour bus ride.
Yeah.
You know, which is better.
I don't feel a thing in that plane, I'm sure. State of the art, Motley Crue jet.
Their lifestyles are different than his, so there was a lot of disagreements. I think he was just done. They were supposed to have done the last tour, and then they came back. Then they did the stadium tour, and then that was supposed to be the last. So when they came back again, he said, "You can do it. I'm not going out with you for this." It's okay. And then he was asked about his thoughts on John 5, who is replacing Mick Mars. And Carmine says, he's a good player, but if they're on tape, it doesn't matter. It's sad because Motley Crue, when they first went out with Ozzy, they were smoking. Oh, and I think Carmine actually, this was when Carmine was playing drums for Ozzy briefly.
They were
so
smoking
he was-
what?
But also,
were
wait, when they
smoking.
first went out with Ozzy, what was that, 40 years ago?
Yeah.
Yes.
Like, what? Okay.
But I
that
mean,
was great.
To Carmine Appice, though, it's like just yesterday. It's like a big
Hold on, there's more.
blur.
I lived out in LA and I'd see them perform on the strip. They'd walk in with their makeup and they look like the New York Dolls.
Yeah.
A lot of
That's
people
true.
said they'll never make it. That look is over. But a year later, they blew up and did it all themselves. They put their posters all over town and they were selling out arenas quickly. Then they got a record deal with Tom Werman producing, and that's where I was like, blah, 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 blah.
Was that really over that? And I feel like that was like the beginning of that look when they were doing that. Isn't that like
Right.
the-
But I think what he's saying is
Glam
people
thing, I
in
guess
that
people.
in that moment just thought like, oh, this idea of cross-dressing, it's
Oh.
not going to last. It's over.
Mhm.
And then they kind of shot it to a different
I
popularity.
see. Sorry,
oh,
sorry, Carmine Appice.
They gentrified cross-dressing.
Yeah.
And then this part, he's reminiscing some more about back in the day. I got to be friends with them all, and I used to hang out with Tommy and Nikki all the time. They lived around the corner from where I lived, and we'd go to breakfast all the time.
We used to go to the OTB together.
Breakfast. I thought these were like rock stars and didn't get up till like 4 p.m.
That's when they have breakfast.
4 p.m.
I guess,
muffins.
yeah.
And I used to go to Tommy's house with him when he was with Heather Lochner.
Uh-oh.
We were good friends too. I had a red Ford Pantera, and that's why Vince got out, which is the car he crashed and killed Anna.
Oh, no!
No, wait just a
Oh
minute.
my God.
I had nothing to do with that. Don't mention Pantera with Razzle.
I love that he has to name drop that. Oh, Vince Neil got the idea for getting the car that killed Razzle from me.
That was all me. Right here. Carmine Appice.
Does Andy
So, yeah.
Roy have a take on this
Oh,
revelation?
Mr.
Appice?
We haven't heard from Andy. I guess his promotional tour is over.
Fuck
maybe
the
he died.
Pantera. They make it the car that killed Russell. I am so sad. Why you not killing yourself, the fucking Pantera?
The fucking shit.
The fucking shit. Bullshit.
So, yeah, I was good friends with all of them. I remember that when they did their second record. Wow, he's really he's just going down memory lane here. I remember when I did this, when they did their second record, I lent them a bass drum of mine, which they used on the album. I went down to the studio while they were recording, and I realized that the bass sound that Tom Werman was getting was not that great. So I stepped in and I lent them mine. Wow. I didn't get this far when I was pre-screening this, but I love the shit talking. In the end, it sounded great. I stayed in touch, but then as they got bigger and bigger, things changed. And again, all of Tommy's tricks that he does, a lot of that came from me.
Oh my God.
He credited me for that, and I respect him for it. He became a good drummer. I watched him grow, and I watched him get huge. So it's sad that we're not in touch anymore.
I created the Motley Crue sound. Everyone knows. Everyone knows it. It was me. Me. Not you. Not him. None of them.
Can I just cut in quickly and say there's someone in the chat right now named Bacon Sharts, and that makes me very happy.
Says, damn, dude, I haven't listened to this podcast since 2010. I was 21. Fuck. Yeah. That is crazy that we've even been doing it this long. I don't put it in. When did we start?
2008. 15 years.
And Snowberry Salad says, never too late to check it out again. It's true.
Facts.
Bacon Charts, where are you chatting with us from? What part of the world?
And I also want to know if Bacon Shorts had a name in our old chat that we would recognize as a listener.
Bacon Charts is from Cali. Quick Man Cometh about the Motley Crue stuff asks, what does Kerry King think about it? Sure, he thinks Motley Crue sucks. Or no, I bet probably they're the one glam band that he probably enjoyed. I mean, they had a little glam moment. Bacon Charts says his old username was, in fact, Bacon Charts.
Oh, all right.
It's a nice
I appreciate the consistency.
So to wrap up the story, Nikki Sixx responded, because this is like that. I only read the first paragraph and I thought, oh, we'll have a fun time going through this. I didn't see that he was like really shit talking there at the end. Like that is pure old man shit talking, and I love it. Yeah. And Nikki Sixx, who, to be fair, is above this all. Like he's way more famous, way richer. Like, you know, what does he give a fuck what this guy says? You know, but he is speaking for a member of his band. So Sixx responded to the comments, writing in a tweet, "Love how people talk for us without talking to us. This is why the media has lost credibility." Well, and this part I don't understand. Obviously, by printing BS, they make money off of advertising, and we're not into that clickbait game. When the truth comes out, it will be from us with the umlaut on the U.
God.
He later added, a washed-up drummer trying to speak for us, and bottom feeder media running with it to make money off lies. Welcome to the sad new world of look at me, look at me. What? This has been the world for 40 years since Motley Crue started. I don't understand why he's attacking the media here,
That's what
because
people do.
Yeah, like he's saying that Ultimate Guitar shouldn't have ran with that quote. Like, why
Should they
not?
have like asked his permission first?
Yeah, like what?
What? Huh?
Well, how are they so? I don't. And like other sites aren't supposed to pick up on this quote. You know,
It's
like
not
what?
like it was just like some random dude off the street. It's like a known, respected musician said this stuff
Yeah,
that has.
it's not like it's Ja Rule.
Yeah. But he has like some level of credibility.
Yeah. No, I obviously I agree.
That's. And also, he said he did talk to one of them. He talked to Mick Mars specifically. He
Exactly.
said that's where he got all this information from. So,
And so yeah. Anyway, I just thought that was great. Sorry for that little.
quick man comments. 6 literally wore makeup and spandex because of the same "look at me" bullshit. Yeah. And wrote a book about his band and did a movie about his band. Isn't that all "look at me"? Or look at a younger actor playing me? It's all basically the same shit. Thank you.
Yes. So I'm glad that Mick Mars is just off the road. Ultimately, he's the winner here. You know.
What, huh? How
do you mean?
is it the Nosferatu of rock the winner?
By the way,
He's not on the road anymore. He could like relax.
We did get a response also from Mick Mars. I don't know.
Oh,
Should I play this?
Yeah.
I don't know. I'm not sure what it is. It just says Mick Mars responds. Oh, you okay, Mick? Oh, that's all we got. I guess that's all he could muster.
is he doing Morse code with his oxygen? Is that
Maybe
what that
it's
was?
like the Metallica video, like "Kill Me," SOS.
You're terrible.
Oh, I'm terrible.
You're terrible. You're terrible. Why would you do that? Why would you say that?
What does Mick think of whether I'm terrible or not?
I'm sort of half expecting Mick Mars to like randomly pop up behind Rob right now and like choke him out.
Oh no!
He just manifests. He's stronger in the spirit plane than he is in our corporeal plane. He just teleport.
Well, you mentioned Metallica, Darren.
Yes.
Lars Ulrich has been, or Ulrich, I think. I'm not sure which way. He pronounces it Ulrich, but his
No, he
brother
doesn't.
pronounces it Ulrich. No. Lars Ulrich has been given some interviews because Metallica's hitting the road. They got a new album out, or coming out soon. It's not out yet. I've only listened to the first song so far. I've stopped checking out the singles. I figure once the whole album comes out, I'll check it out. Taryn, have you kept up with the new singles?
Not really.
Yeah, so we'll
Sorry,
have to do a proper
can't
review
offer any insight there.
once the album comes out. But so he's been in the press. He defended the Pantera reunion.
Mm-hmm.
Saying, I think the idea that they're out celebrating the music, and I want to mention, of course, they're taking out Pantera this summer.
Oh well, then of course.
So you could imagine
Right.
that he obviously has positive feelings about it. He says, I know there's been a lot of talk in the community about whether people support that or not, but I'm the type of person, if Glenn Hughes wants to go out and play a Deep Purple set, I'd support that. I'm always in favor of people following their musical and creative ambitions. So this Pantera reunion, I think, is good. And obviously having Charlie Benante up there is great. I saw a video from Mexico and felt they were in the pocket. Be fun to have them out.
Okay.
Okay.
Bill Maher is in the house.
Okay. New rule. But what the quote that really made me do a double take is Lars saying that the collaboration that Metallica did with Lou Reed, Lulu,
Yes.
has aged extremely well.
You think so?
Well, I didn't know that a turd could age well, but I guess
Well, it dries and then it doesn't smear all over your hands anymore,
Yeah.
I guess.
I guess in that sense. So Lars, the full quote is, "What the fuck is it about Lulu that it got that kind of reaction?"
It sucks.
Yeah, it was really bad.
I can't quite figure it out, but years later, it's aged extremely well. It's so funny because it's not like at the time he said, "Oh, I'm not too crazy about it." He was
Right.
very proud of it back then. Like, what do you?
This is why he just shouldn't talk, because they're putting out a new album. So what is he really saying here? He's saying, look, we put out a new album in like 2012 or whatever the fuck that was, and everyone hated it. But now it's good. So just wait 15 years and it'll be fine. So you're just saying the same thing again. Like, this, don't buy this because it sucks. Buy it a decade from now and you might like it.
Buy it then and now. Buy it twice.
Yeah. Yeah, but if you
Even
want
better.
people to buy it, just be quiet.
Well, he's not. This was not in an interview promoting the new Metallica album. This was in a book.
Oh, this was before this album came out. You said?
Yeah. This is a separate from the. This is in some Tai Chi book.
Tai Chi? What?
Yeah. So yeah.
Why is he talking about Lulu in a Tai Chi book?
Well,
Why
it's
is he in a
Lou
Tai
Reed's
Chi
book,
book?
right? Not Lars's book, or what?
So it's a book about Tai Chi, and it has 80 interviews throughout the book, from Tai Chi students to music producers to many others. And yeah, it's about it's about Lou Reed and his Tai Chi study.
Which he died, so how helpful was the Tai Chi? Maybe don't
Well,
put dead people in your Tai Chi book.
I mean, he looked like shit. Maybe it helped him like live longer than he should have, you know?
But not long enough for the fucking book to come out.
That's true. Hey,
Damn
listen, it's not magic, okay? I think we have a quote about Tai Chi from Mick Mars here. Oh no. Oh fuck, I blew it. I lost it.
Maybe that means the oxygen's been
Oh
cut
no!
off.
Oh
I got
no!
it. I got it. Here it
Mick,
is. Here it is.
Are you alive, Mick? Okay.
Wait. Uh-oh.
He's still alive.
Uh-oh.
Oh,
Oh, he's back online. Okay,
he's
good.
back. He's back. So, yeah, so a few more quotes. We had a chance to get to a creative place we'd never been, and the lyrics inspired that, said Lars. Lou took us out of our comfort zone. The lyrics were angry, spiteful, awkward, and beautiful, and all made sense. It was a cohesive work that had almost every human emotion.
Should we review some of those lyrics?
Hold on. During the recording of Lulu, Ulrich became even more connected with the power of Reed's words through his Tai Chi. The one thing that was so beautiful about him, Ulrich said, he never tried to apologize or excuse all the different things that lived inside him. I don't think I ever met a person that was so unapologetic for what he was saying and how he was. Tai Chi was a part of that. And I think it all fits together very well. And so, yeah, what the fuck is this about Lulu that got that kind of reaction? I can't quite figure it out, but years later, it aged extremely well. It sounds like a motherfucker still. So I can only put the reaction down to ignorance. It took our fans to a place I wish they would go more often.
Fuck you.
Maybe it would be a better time to release it now with what's going on outside in the world, the chaos. I don't know, but I'm very proud of this record. James and I would be figuring out ways through a piece of music, and then Lou would look over and go, "That's it. I'm not doing another fucking take of that." That's not the way we usually worked, but it was so beautiful and great, the whole thing.
I think
Are
he's
you
misinterpreting.
serious?
Sorry,
I
what?
think Lou was just like, I want to leave. We're not doing this again. Enough. It sucks. It's not getting any better.
It's true.
Meanwhile, Lars is like, wow, he's so zen. He's just cool with it, man. Like, no, he just hates being in a studio with you and he wants out.
He's
He only
just
has
on
months left to live.
he's on
This
life
is how he's
support.
wasting his last days.
It is interesting how, like, okay, so I've noticed now, and I've talked to Darren about this. Saint Anger now gets props. Like, people kind of push back. That's like, oh no, actually, like, don't be a doofus. Like, you should actually go listen to it. Saint Anger is a good record. Which it's like, no, I have listened to it. It's not.
It's not. I can get behind people who say, like, I've seen this before, and I don't necessarily agree, but I can see the point in it. Like when they say, I enjoy it. It needs more production, and it's very clunky, and it's all this other stuff, and it's unlistenable in parts, but I hear things in there that I really like. Okay, I can buy that. I can agree to an extent, but like you've said, it's become like almost, so in some circles, like the default position that you're an idiot if you don't see the beauty in this album.
Yeah, and like, no, it sucks. A few comments from the chat. Quickman comment says Lars's dad responded to his son's article, quote, I delete that. Bacon Chart says Stanger is trash. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Quickman comment, 20 years of fuck that snare. Snowberry Salad. Saint Anger would have been pretty dope record if not for the horrible production and drivel in some songs that could otherwise be pretty cool. The music video version of the song Some Kind of Monster with the fixed drums was pretty good in my opinion.
There are a few very good songs on there. It's hard to make a completely shitty album when you're Metallica. Like, they are musical geniuses. And some of it bleeds through on the album. Like, you can hear it, but it's just covered up with fucking unlistenable shit. That's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
It should have been an EP.
Well, I think that was the problem with them for a while, and maybe even up until the last record, is they wouldn't edit themselves. Like, if Saint Anger, if they were going for that sound with that annoying snare, the songs don't need to be 7 minutes with no guitar solos. They could be 3 minutes. You know, like, we don't have to ride the same riff for 2 minutes.
It's so
it doesn't go anywhere. Yeah. And you know, it was interesting at the time. Like, I really wanted to like the record. The record came out at what was a peak of my Metallica fandom, and I was obsessed with them. And I was like, so looking forward to this, so looking forward to seeing them live, because I didn't have a chance to before. And it was such a disappointment.
Weren't you put off at all by, like, they had just been doing years of like I Disappear and all this like musical soundtrack?
No, I liked I Disappear.
Really?
Yeah. I mean, like, I liked some of the, I liked Fuel, because that's Fuel.
That's okay.
The first the first Metallica song I heard was Enter Sandman, but like the first Metallica music video I saw was Until It Sleeps.
Mm-hmm.
And I was a fan. And like, so that's like, I got into them in like 98, 99 kind of. So it was in that era. I didn't know that there was a cooler era. It was just how I accepted them, and then I went backwards.
Let me tell you an anecdote about how I first heard Stanger. Okay. I was working at a store, like a retail store. And now, to set the scene, so their previous album, I think, came out in 1997, right? Reload. Mm-hmm. I guess they had S&M in there somewhere, but whatever.
Oh yeah, that was fun. They had that one song, No Leaf Clover.
But the first studio album, it's 6 years. It's been 6 years since the studio album. Plus, there was all this press they did. All the stenographers in the press just wrote down from the Metallica press release, like, this is raw. It's the raw, hard, back to the old Metallica.
Fired by Meshuggah and Hatebreed, I remember.
Right, and it's very fast, and it's like raw, old Metallica. They built it up so much. All the interviews they were doing, it's like we went back to our roots and blah, blah, blah. So I got this CD the second it came out, the midnight of the Monday before, whatever. I go and I put it on in the store, right? Just not knowing anything about what it sounds like. I put it on full blast.
You were there for the midnight release, you're saying?
Yes.
This is before. And
I was working in a store, not in the CD part, but I just went and got it, bought it, and I put it on. And I'm like, this is going to be great. Wait, let me finish. So, and people just walk around and like, ow, what the fuck is this? Like, all the customers are walking around. Their ears are bleeding. It was like a comedy movie. Like, I was assaulting their eardrums. And I'm standing there listening to it like, is the CD skipping? Like, is something wrong with this? This can't be what the songs are, right? This is horrible.
Did you have to go and like buy a second copy just to make sure it wasn't?
I mean, after a few seconds, he starts singing, and allegedly singing, and I kind of realized it was just how this album was.
Yeah. And there was file sharing at the time, but they were adamant about it wasn't like it is today, I feel. And
It
so
didn't leak at all that I remember.
Yeah, it did not leak. And so
I would have got
really
it from you if it leaked, I'm sure.
And yeah, so you really had to wait and listen to it. Yeah, I remember I was very, very disappointed when I put it on.
Awful.
So it's very odd. It's like I feel like I'm in a different world where maybe it's the same thing where how I'm saying I got into them in '98. Maybe people 8 years younger than me got into them on the Saint Anger album cycle, and while they enjoyed earlier stuff, like that's the song that was the first Metallica song that they heard, so they don't have that disdain for it.
Right.
But
I had the same thing happen to me with the Black album. Honestly, like I grew up on Blackened and Metallic, Master of Puppets, and all that stuff. And then the Black album came out. It was a big letdown. Like it was very poppy to me, but I grew to like it, over time. It grew on me. But my first initial reaction was that it was very mediocre and shitty.
For me, it's so funny because I remember when I heard "Sad But True," I was like, "This is the heaviest song I've ever heard."
Well,
at the time, it was.
It's almost impressive how many eras and albums in a row Metallica has been disappointing their previous generation of fans, and yet they're still so huge.
Yeah.
Like that's a talent in and of itself that you can alienate as many people as you add with every new album cycle.
I think the bottom line is that the songs are good. Like they're great musicians. You could joke about them all day long, about the stupid things they say. They're a great band. I mean, and they have, even in the turds that they lay, there's still something musically redeeming about them. Even Lulu. I mean, there's parts of Lulu sound good. I mean, their playing is good and it's inventive. It's just too stupid to it's too pretentious and stupid to be a good album. But it's like,
yeah, and I want to say something, Lars. Okay, how dare you assume I didn't give this an honestly? How dare you assume I didn't want to like this? How dare you assume I don't have huge respect for Lou Reed and you guys, and that I didn't go into this with an open mind and listen to it more than once? And it's painful. It's hard to listen to. Snowberry Salad says Metallica were ahead of their time, name dropping TikTok in Frantic. Good point. Good point.
So stupid.
And adding Sad But True is still heavy as hell in a room with live guitars. It's great. I mean, it's a kick-ass song. And it's a kick-ass B-side, I think, to Enter Sandman.
And B-side. What? It was a single.
On the single, but I think it was it was like a 1 and 2. I believe.
I thought the B-side of Enter Sandman was Stone Cold Crazy by a cover of Queen.
Oh, was it?
Yeah.
I'll look it up in a second. Bacon.
Rob got the Russian import version.
Bacon Sharts asks, "What is your guy's favorite Metallica album?"
And Justice for All. But not even close to anything else. Sorry.
Probably Master of Puppets for me, but I also admit that I've listened to Metallica way less than the two of you.
For me, it goes back and forth between Ride the Lightning and Master of Puppets. But in my later years, I've grown to love And Justice for All much more than I would prior.
And I know like a lot of tech heads, they pile on And Justice for All because like there's no bass on it, but I think that's good. Like it just works for what they're trying to do. Like it's supposed to be this like monolithic, like cynical view of the world, and like everything is shitty and we're in a dystopia, and it just works to have this like soulless sound to it. I just think it's fine. Like it's good that way.
They could have used that justification for Lulu too. It might have helped. It's like, no, this just reflects the hellscape we live in now. Oh, okay. Right. That makes sense then. Great. Mission accomplished.
So, you guys are gonna go see Metallica at the Giant Stadium this summer?
No.
I don't know. How you gonna get me free passes? Then I
Ah.
might go. It's like $400 to go see the same songs I've seen for 40 years.
But also, you get to see Pantera right before them.
Oh, well, that's very different. Thanks. Get me some comps.
Pantera.
I'll go with you.
Okay, I have to get myself one first.
If you can. I'm not like pressuring you. If you can't go, I'll stay home and play poker. I don't care.
But
if you get it, I'll
+1,
go.
Rob, right? If you got guest listed, you would get a +1.
I would
Not
genuinely.
necessarily, but if I do, Darren, you would be the first person I think of.
Thank you. I would genuinely. This is it's sincere, not a joke. I would genuinely be excited to go to a Metallica show, especially with Rob. But
Yeah.
I don't want to pay for it. I don't want
The
to go
excitement is
enough
from
to
it being
pay.
free.
No, yeah, partly, but like I do want to see them. I'm not like gonna lie. Like I do have fun when I go to Metallica show, but I don't.
Yeah,
I
they
don't
put on
wanna
a great
pay for
show.
those.
It's been a few years since I saw them, but when I did see them, it was very entertaining.
I haven't seen them. I think since Big Four. Pretty sure. Oh no! I went with my friend Doug to see them when they.
Levison?
No, I wish. I went to see them with Doug in 2016 or whenever that last album came out.
What was at the stadium?
Hardwired to Self-Destruct. It was in the Nassau Coliseum.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fun.
I only ever saw them at that Lollapalooza in like '96. That was it.
Oh. You didn't go to the Big Four with us, right?
No, I did not.
In our Discord this week, Chandra had a very interesting question that I wanted to pose to the group. He says, or they say, you're at a small venue and you have to shit really bad. The bathroom only has 2 stalls. One toilet is clogged and someone left a huge shit. The second toilet is flushing fine and relatively clean, but the stall door is missing. Which toilet do you choose?
Can I ask follow up?
I mean, this is all that is here, but
Well,
sure.
Maybe we can posit some
Yeah.
scenarios then. How high is the shit stacked in the stacked shit toilet?
Yeah, that was going to be my first question as well. Like, is
If it's
this where? Yeah.
Sorry, if it's not touching my ass or anything, or I'm
Yeah.
not going to get backsplash of someone else's shit, I would use that one.
Same.
It's near water. It's under the water, but near the surface of the water
That's fine. I'm using
with
that
toilet paper.
one. I don't
But
like
the toilet's clogged, so is the water higher than normal?
Yes, I mean it's clogged, right? And there's toilet paper everywhere.
Bacon Shart says, "Poop talk is why I'm really here."
Yeah, that hasn't
True
changed.
Old school fan.
I have an aversion to people watching me use the bathroom. I don't know why, as I can't
Same.
explain it. It's not rational. I don't like using urinals, but I use them. I mean, it's just a part of life, but I'm never really comfortable using a urinal. I just don't
Same.
like it. But if
I
I
have no issue using a urinal. I need
Now-
to
My
pee.
other
I need to
question
pee, I
here
need
is
to
like
pee.
the main door to the bathroom. Does it have a lock on it? Because if I could just
Well,
lock
I
the whole
imagine-
fucking bathroom, and
I
I'm there by
imagine
myself.
it's just like one of those public restrooms with multiple urinals, a big, so it's probably
So
there
there's
probably is
people
not a lot.
coming in and out, and you can't control that.
Right. Yeah, that's how I imagine the scenario is.
if there was only one stall with no door and I really had a shit, I would use it. I would just be uncomfortable. But I'm not going to shit my pants. That'd make me way more uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Or shit on the floor. That's just terrible to do to somebody intentionally. I have done it accidentally, as we've discussed, documented here on this program. But yeah, I'd take any other option I could if available.
For me, the idea of someone else's poo or like poo water backsplashing onto my butt, that is a deal breaker. So I agree with you. I don't care about peeing in front of like I could pee in public like it's nobody's business. And I'm like I'm a ninja with it, like
It's like a non-sexual glory hole.
No, there's nothing sexual about it. It's just I need to relieve myself. I need to clear my bladder. But shitting in front of somebody is very awkward. Like the idea that is like really awkward to me. That's a very private thing to do. But when like comparing the two, I'm way more grossed out by someone else's shit hitting my ass than just like taking a quick dump with a stall where like people see me shitting.
I think we've touched on it. Oh, go ahead, Sid, please.
No, I was just gonna say I think I'm more worried about people seeing me wiping after I shit than the actual.
By that
shitting
point, you
somehow.
go into wipe in the stall with the door. You can.
But then you got to go in there with
Yeah,
your
then you're,
pants
like,
around your
walking
ankles.
No,
I
the
mean,
shit
it's
ass.
fine.
No.
It's fine.
What if someone catches you on the tour on the journey between the two stalls?
Well,
And
but
like, what
also
the
with-
fuck you doing with your pants
Hold on,
down?
hold
Why
on.
you?
Oh, you're right. But with the wiping though, you can wait until everyone leaves the bathroom to start wiping. You can
But
time
this is
that.
like a packed show. There's never going to be probably a time, or you're going to miss the whole show waiting for the fucking perfect moment. You can't
That's
do
fair.
that.
This is why we need more bidets in venues.
Yeah, those will stay functional.
They won't even put them in the first place. Half of these things are like a hole in the ground. But I think we've touched on a fundamental facet of human nature, which I think there's just an innate, like something from the caveman days, where if you shat in a certain place, you would be attacked by predators. So I think we have a shame. We have a shame about shitting. It's somewhere in there. Maybe we overcome it as humans, and we get to a point because we're conscious beings and we don't care. But there's something in there that makes us ashamed and do our business in a private, like, cubbyhole. And I think that's why we have stalls and why we like stalls. There's something in our being.
I don't think it's universal though, because I've seen in third world countries where there's no toilets. It's just a hole, and there are no doors, so there is no privacy. It's a public like shithole.
Well, that's public defecation celebrated in Germany.
What was the first part?
Isn't public defecation celebrated in Germany?
Celebrated.
Well, they have porn genres just for that.
Oh well, but that's niche. That's neat. That's not like their mainstream porn is scat.
I don't know. Maybe it is.
It's
not.
You're
the one who's
Get
been
out
to
of here.
Germany. Tell me.
I've been to Berlin. I did not see any displays of scat porn anywhere.
Well, then I'm definitely never going to visit. Bacon Sharts actually has a good take. He says, honestly, I just throw on a mask and pretend I'm anonymous.
Oh.
If I had like a face mask and I had to shit.
Oh yeah, that's a good
and then
point.
Just anyone who comes in or passes me, I just go like this really creepily, like put my finger to my mouth, like in a shush gesture.
V for Vendetta. Get the Guy Fawkes mask.
I just wear my I poop so much shirt, and they understand. They're like, well, he has to. He has a shirt that says it.
Oh, you meant a COVID mask. I thought he was talking about like the Scream guy.
I mean, if that's what's available, sure.
Great scenario. If you have a scenario such as this that you'd like to send to us, please email us. We'd love to discuss these kind of things. RAPLivecast@gmail.com. And wait, I'm sorry. Apparently there's a scat card game in Germany. There's a German in the room. Templar
Scharf.
No, that's like an old time card game, scat.
Oh no.
It's like Whist or Euchre or something like that.
German 3-player card game.
Oh, I didn't know it was German though. Okay.
It's a 3-player trick-taking card game of the Ace to 10 family, devised. Okay, whatever.
It's an old person card game.
I see. No poop involved, allegedly. Okay. Speaking of third world countries.
Wait,
I wanted to.
Germany's a third world country?
No, well, we talk about pooping in third world countries.
Gotcha.
Germany is not. Germany is a first world country.
You heard it here, folks. Rob Pasbani poops on third world countries.
Yeah.
Fucked up.
So,
take that, Somalia.
There is a guy.
Fox.
There's a right wing commentator called
Robert Pasabini.
Yeah, he shits on third world countries on podcasts. It's fucked up.
There he is.
SHLOMOCHOINE.
It's his name is
Deuterino in
Lord.
the Discord corrected me saying developing nation. I was just quoting Rob, Deuterino.
Yeah.
Don't kill the messenger.
I'm sorry, what's going on? Is third world nation a pejorative?
Developing nation.
Too far.
According to Deuterino.
Too far.
I think the beginning of the word third world had a negative connotations. Like the reason it's called third world is diminishing.
Fair.
I was reading about this, but I didn't fully retain it, so I can't tell you why.
So there is this right-wing British troll.
Ricky Gervais.
No, his name is Lord Miles.
Oh.
Well, he changed his name to Lord Miles.
Well, Lord Miles wasn't his real name.
No.
You never know.
I'm trying to find this original thread that I found. I'm very
Isn't it in the rundown?
yeah, but in that thread there was another thread
Oh my god.
which had his whole story. But the long and short of it is this guy, like I said, he is a troll.
Right.
And he when the war in Afghanistan was winding down, he decided for lulz that he would go and live there. With the idea being that like Afghanistan is probably safer to live in than London.
Okay, got it.
Because again, he is a right-wing troll. And there was a whole thread going through he's on 4chan. He and basically he was live blogging his time in Afghanistan, and it started with essentially like, oh, things are great, everything is so cheap, and then oh, I'm in a bit of a pickle.
Oh no.
Oh, actually, that was the phrase. Let me see. In a bit of a pickle. Let me see if I can find it this way. Give me one moment, guys.
Rob's just
Have you
Googling a bit of a pickle.
Have you have you guys ever thought to go to a here? Okay, I found the thread. All right, wonderful. Now we could party. So let me do my share screen.
This better just be a screen with pictures of Cher.
Okay.
Or Robin Jeremy's belly button.
So there's currently a British guy called Lord Miles in Kabul having a wonderful time. So this is him. He's posting on these are screenshots from 4chan of this guy. And now this happened in 2021. So this is 2 years ago. Just chilling in Afghanistan. Decided to pop down to Afghanistan for a few days. Never been before. Just goofing off and soaking in the sun. Seems more peaceful than London to me. Ask me anything. And there's photos. And people on 4chan are like, hey, you better be careful. Kabul's going to be surrendered in 6 months. It might be even sooner than that.
So this was before the U.S. got out of there?
This was immediately after. Right? Wait, when did? No, before, right? Yeah, because Biden got in 2022. So, yes, this is before. Just wanted to reiterate my
Biden got in where 2022?
Into the. Oh no, he got in 2020. So this was. Oh my god,
He got in
So no, this is
2021.
after-
2021.
Sorry,
January.
2021. So this is right after Biden pulls out U.S.
Okay.
troops, I believe. Okay, thank you. So Miles goes, just wanted to reiterate my confidence. The intelligence agencies showed that the capital may be taken over within 30 days. However, not in a few days, I'm almost sure. And if not, this thread will get so much more interesting, quirky. All the major areas were surrounded for a month, supplies cut off, and people slowly convinced to surrender. The area that just fell had been under attack for 30 days. Blah, blah, blah. Furthermore, Taliban are anti-Western, but as long as you denounce the West, aren't Jewish or atheist, and could show you're a harmless tourist, you'll be fine most of the time. Do you really all trust Western media? Also, if I get proven wrong and die, edit in a laughing soundtrack over my posts. It'll be funny, I think.
All right.
Somebody asked why I picked Afghanistan. Well, I just Googled the most dangerous countries to visit and used it as a shopping list. I went to Chernobyl 2 years ago as my first ever holiday abroad and bribed an armed guard to be allowed to take a gas mask I found in the abandoned hospital. Sold it on eBay for more than the trip cost. And then he goes on. My room is nice. It's hidden off the street, barricaded with several steel doors and checkpoints with guards. I've got a 32-inch fat TV. I've got AC, which works surprisingly well. Double bed and a mattress is a rock, but apparently that's the custom here. I kind of like it. I got a private bathroom, and I got breakfast in the morning if I want, no charge. They also offer takeaways. Checked out Uber Eats for shits and giggles and nothing, so I got some last night. Very good and cheap. People say my situation is bad, but us Westerners pay £5 for cancer-inducing fast food burger, and this whole meal costs less than $1 or £1. You have no idea how good it tasted. And the photo is just of some skewers of kebab and a pita. Get a taste of the good life and come down to Afghanistan with me, lads. We can have a night on the town.
No.
And then somebody like people in the 4chan are like blown away at this guy's blind confidence. Like, here is a responder
It's an
mocking
alpha.
him. Well, this person says this is borderline Sigma behavior. Goes to Afghanistan right when the Taliban is taking over, openly walks the street, has no care in the world, hanging out in the city that's about to become the 21st century equivalent of Saigon, posts his picture and entire name on 4chan, a site notorious for punishing those that breach the enforced anonymity, gives zero fucks about caution or advice contrary to his own plans.
So Sigma is even worse than Beta, I guess.
It's like it's subscribing to neither philosophy. It's like you walk your own path.
You're just a chaos agent.
Yeah. And so here is his credit card. He figures,
oh my God.
He figures if the Taliban kidnap me, the plan is simple. I'm legally technically a lord, but fake certificate, wore suit in the bank and talk the talk. So it says Lord on all my bank cards. The Taliban may see this as reason enough to keep me alive, thinking I may hold some negotiating power as they think I'm important. Let's hope it won't get to that stage, though.
But also, wouldn't they very quickly find out that he didn't hold any negotiating power, and then it's all negated? Like,
yeah.
Well,
the Taliban notoriously doesn't Google anything.
Here's what things
by the way. Oh, never mind. Go ahead. Sorry.
Country in anarchy. Saw a few dead in car crash. Military is fleeing and only a few brave stay. Embassy is closed, so I walk to the airport and I'm safe. We'll find British representatives and get a flight out.
He had time to put a little plane emoji too, by the way.
Got into my hotel, heading to embassy, covered myself in a burqa so they couldn't tell I was a white guy.
Oh my God.
Oh, all this, embassy closed, so I walked almost an hour to the airport. I took the burqa off halfway and I'm wearing a headscarf, trying to find the British ambassadors. I'm safe at the airport, however. Short response for now, only essential talk. We'll update with time. Jesus has saved me, I hope. I will either die a man or leave with giant balls. We can't find someone at the airport that knows what's going on or how to get out. There are no representatives here, I think. One said there's no more flights, too. We'll have to wage guerrilla warfare across the Taliban until I reach another country. And 4chan people are just cheering him on. No more flights in Kabul. I'm stuck in Afghanistan. Bit of a pickle. He writes. Saw the Taliban enter the airport. They saw me, but kind of didn't care. I'm going back to the safe house now. Plan is to wait to see if any flights resume. So he is now walking through a war zone.
Oh my God.
And he has time to post on his Facebook. He goes, I'm in temporary housing. Still better than my uni accommodation. Haha. I will live stream soon, but I just need to get into Western clothes and drink some water. It's all good in the hood. Hey.
Oh my God.
And then he did a live stream.
Please tell me something happened horribly to him on this live stream.
No, but he's just live streaming from the bunker. Here he is. and then blah blah blah, and then he's posting more. People are going crazy. I'll be given body armor, emergency evacuation right now to a better place as all compounds are to be abandoned. I'm with the best of the best.
He looks like the meme of the kid who's trying to hold into in a fart because the girl he likes is sitting next to him. I'm gonna put that in the chat so you can.
He goes, got evacuated at 4-ish. It's 2 a.m. now with 100 or so other civilians. Couldn't message as there were cars emitting signals that would set off bombs. It blocked my AirPods from connecting, so I think it blocked all the Wi-Fi data. Imagine considering putting in AirPods while you're in such a situation.
Gotta listen to your jams.
Rob,
Taliban-
put that picture in just for a second from the chat.
Where's okay, 1 second. Let me just read this. The Taliban let us go through the airport and we met many of them. Very long transition period, but everyone was smiling and waving at one another. Some took selfies with them. I slept on a dirt gravel road and woke up as cars went by. We're in a new safe house and we're all hydrated, happy, and ready for a few hours of sleep. And he posts this lovely photo. He's doing just fine in Afghanistan. Now let's compare him to the photo.
Are we 100% sure he actually went to Afghanistan and this isn't all
Yes.
Photoshop and bullshit?
Yeah. I looked it up. Like actual journalistic outlets said that his documents were all real.
Even the forged Lord documents?
Yeah.
All right. What do you think of him? If you saw him on Grindr, Rob, would you swipe or would you keep going?
Pass.
No, thank
Keep
you.
going.
What's the issue? What's wrong with him?
Too Caucasian?
Wow, Rob. What about the kid holding in the fart in the other?
Yeah, I was gonna say the meme guy. You like him?
No, too young.
I mean, he's older than that now. He's probably legal.
Well, now I'd have to see a photo.
You're looking at it.
Then no.
God damn it.
All right, more. So then let's get an
But
update.
think about it, Rob. If he could hold in a fart to that level of intensity, imagine what else he can do with his sphincter.
Too Caucasian. Don't you like any white guys?
Yeah, but not like guys that look like,
too white.
Yeah.
You like Shifty
Too waspy.
Shortcake. He's white.
No, he's Latino.
Is he?
Is he? I thought
Yeah.
he was Jewish.
Was he?
White to me.
Yes, Rob. Come on.
He had a
Well,
tan.
I mean, he could be a white Latino, but I mean, he looks.
He had
very
a
white.
tan.
pretty sure
Like
he's-
he had a tan. I should say pasty. He was pasty. That guy was pasty. Not like if the guy.
His
can have
name
a
is
tan.
Seth Binzer. He's not Latino, Rob. Come on.
Of the Tijuana Binzers.
I love that band. It's some good jazz music.
So he says he got on a list for Dubai and maybe flying within a few hours. On the flight out, we aren't allowed any liquids at all. No razors, only one bag. Everyone's tossing their belongings into a pile. Some lads stuffed my body armor and bag with protein bars, over 20 of them. Blah, blah, blah. Then he's fine. He's on his flight. He found a bottle of Canadian syrup. Also, he made it out. Landed in Dubai. He's fine. He made it out. And then what did he end up doing? Well, a few weeks ago, he was actually here in Brooklyn, in South Brooklyn, in fact. And he tweeted this: checked out Brooklyn, felt more unsafe than Afghanistan by a mile. And if you look at where
he's got my neighborhood. Is this guy near my house?
He is in Bay Ridge. Like, was he saying Sunset Park is unsafe? Like, he is in the least unsafe area of Brooklyn.
Yeah.
So
Among
like
them,
he is completely trolling. Well, also, I believe this is the train map that he's using because of all the line, the way the lines are set up. He's on the yellow line.
Oh yeah, I see it. Yeah, there's I see the yellow R.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's on the NR line. So he could have been in Coney Island. Perhaps if he walked around Coney Island, it might be a little sketch. There's certainly some parts, but then he's gone missing. He's now gone missing in Afghanistan. There's these photos of him just hanging out with the Taliban. He's apparently
he went
friends
back
with the Taliban. Yes, he went back. And here's his last tweet. His last tweet from Afghanistan. A flatmate saw my Bible and said, quote, "That book is a fairy tale." So I threw my empty mug at his head, broke on the wall behind him. This isn't the first instance, and after a while, you have to stop playing 100% nice and defend your faith.
Oh,
So
boy.
I'm assuming this one person ratted him out. He was like, "Hey, this guy is whatever," and like ISIS. The assumption is he might have been captured by ISIS, or what have you, but he hasn't tweeted in weeks. Optimists are saying he might have tried to escape through the mountains into China, and that there's poor internet there. But what a journey, folks!
That's just
What a journey.
fanboy copium.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, fun stuff. So I guess the lesson here is don't go to Afghanistan.
And don't fuck with Bay Ridge.
Well, you can go to Afghanistan. Just don't be a gigantic tool when you go to Afghanistan.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I'm
Maybe
sure there's
tweet
a way
less.
there's a way to go there safely.
The phone.
I almost thought like this was going to end with. I mean, I completely expected this to end with him dying in Afghanistan. I was about to say, as much shit as I talk about Biden, this might be the one good thing that he did by screwing up Afghanistan retreat so badly that he got this tool bag killed.
Finally. But you'll have
No.
to keep track of that. Are you following this guy on Twitter in case he tweets again?
Yeah. So after I went down this rabbit hole, I started following him and I turned on notifications because I wanted. If he tweets again, I want to know about
Do we
it.
do an emergency podcast? Like no matter what else we're doing, if it's like Thursday afternoon, we still
Guys,
just get back on the
he's back.
stream.
Well, I mean, he's a streamer himself. I'm sure he would stream him. He wants to capitalize on this added attention too, probably.
Colin's
you-
in the chat with a very reasonable piece of advice.
What does he say, Sid?
Don't go to a country that doesn't have an embassy. Research. But he was being an arrogant jerk.
I
That's
thought
a
they
good
did
point,
have an
Colin.
embassy and he went there, didn't? But they were just in chaos, right? So
They
just
had
didn't
one,
help
and
No,
then
they
they
were all gone. There were no. All the British representatives at the embassy had left already.
Right, but when he went there was an embassy, so that advice wouldn't have helped. They just dissolved while he was there.
But still, the
Right.
don't be an arrogant jerk part.
Oh yeah.
Sage advice from Colin.
So you're gonna be following Lord Miles, right?
Yes.
I'm following Lord Mick on Twitter. He just posted this. That might be his last message. No one's seen or heard from him in a week. So
Just hide under Mick's hospital gown, Lord Miles. He'll never find.
or hide behind his hyperbaric chamber.
Oh,
It's huge, that fucking thing. They'll never find you. Gotta walk
Oh,
all the way
actually,
around.
Lord Miles actually just posted a photo. Look, let's take a look.
Oh, he's looking good. Looking good.
Miles of belly button.
He's hiding in that whatever that thing is.
Oh my God.
It looks. I try to avert my eyes whenever this comes on, but
Stop it,
like
Rob.
his navel
it's
looks.
cropped. It's cropped.
His
It's
navel
cropped.
looks as much like a penis as his penis.
Ugh.
It does. It looks like a
It's
baby,
so-
like a
so
baby
horrible.
nipple.
The head of it is poking out of his navel, I guess.
And I have fully convinced myself that the woman is Stephanie McMahon. Just from the part of the head that we see, it looks
Yeah.
sort of like her. So in my head, that's Stephanie McMahon about to do that for some reason, just to make her dad angry, I guess.
Get your hemorrhoids checked, folks.
Wow. Get
What?
rid of
That's
it.
the lesson. That's the lesson. It's a belly button hemorrhoid he's got going on there.
Is that true?
Yeah,
Yeah.
you looked it up. Yeah.
That's what it sounds
Yeah.
like when you touch it. It makes that sound.
So it's like a sort of weird Lovecraftian version of the Poppin' Fresh, a Pillsbury Doughboy.
I was thinking more. It's like the Venus flytrap from Little Shop of Horrors.
Oh,
It's gonna start talking. Feed me.
feed me, Seabaw.
Imagine he's in prison and that thing is like eating prison guards and stuff.
Oh,
They have to put him in solitary because he's a danger to everyone around him.
I need blood.
Snowberry salad. Immediately after you said that, I checked my belly button to see if anything was wrong.
What if Ron Jeremy went to the Green Mile prison and then John Coffey touched him and is not only does he not have a hernia anymore, he doesn't have dementia. He can think straight again.
No. Well, then they could properly prosecute him and put him in prison. Like
Right.
real prison.
That's the twist. It's like a
Yeah.
Stephen King twist.
I like that.
He's healed and now he has to stand trial, and he gives a cogent apology for all the women he's he heals his sexual perversions too. He doesn't want to rape anybody.
Maybe he could be like a rabbi in the prison then and like save other people. He could do some good.
Feed me, Ron Jeremy.
That's what happened to Savannah. We thought she killed herself, but actually Ron Jeremy's belly button consumed her. R.I.P. Speaking of which, R.I.P. this week actually just stands for rest in peace for Lance Reddick from The Wire.
Oh,
Very sad.
Lost and Fringe. Although I don't know what he even
John
did
Wick.
on Lost. That was like such a random, like put this scary looking guy in to do something. But
That was like one episode, right? Or 2 episodes?
two or 3 episodes, I think. But he barely did anything.
Yeah.
It was like one of the classic Lost, like let's put a great actor in a spooky setting. Like we don't know exactly who he is, but he does a great job and it's very convincing, but ultimately goes nowhere.
Yeah. It's just like, oh, we could work with the guy from The Wire for a week or 2. That'd be fun. Do we really have any reason to bring him in? Not really,
Right.
but if we can meet him.
The
Sure,
reason
come on.
was, maybe I'm getting my timelines mixed up, but I think he was already well established in Fringe, right? He had a big role in Fringe.
Yeah.
And then maybe that's, we're trying to do what Fringe is doing. Like, let's,
Was Fringe
let's put him
before
in.
at the same time?
I think they
as
were
Lost?
concurrent, yeah. But
Okay.
Lost came on first and Fringe
Yeah.
started in the middle of Lost, I think. But he
That sounds right.
he came into Lost way late, so I think he came into Lost like season 5.
Yeah.
He's great in Fringe. I love Fringe. Fringe is everything that Lost should have been, and it ended with a satisfying conclusion, and it's just wonderful and touching. Even for like a weird show that's like known for just being weird, has very good human like story to it.
And Lance Reddick wasn't the only Wire person that was on Fringe. Wasn't Andre Royo on it for a little bit too?
I don't know who that is. Like
The
maybe by
Bubbles?
sight.
Yeah, I think he played like a cab driver that they like.
Oh, so he had like
contracted cab.
he had like a one-off episode or something.
It was like 1 or 2, yeah. But at that point, I was like, I think they're just having people from The Wire on the show just because they like The Wire, which I'm fine with.
Mhm.
Anytime I see anybody who's been on The Wire and anything else, I immediately perk up. But yeah, R.I.P. Lance Reddick.
But you got the Wire question wrong on Sexual Jeopardy.
Did I?
Shame
What
on you.
was it? Remind me.
It was the long string of saliva stretching from a mouth to a dick is named after this critically acclaimed TV show of the 2000s, and you said The Shield.
Why did I say The Shield? What?
And it was a daily double. You had it to yourself, and your time was running out, and you guessed something, I think.
Oh, shit.
And I said it was The Wire. You said, "Oh no, it's my favorite fucking show
God.
ever."
Shame on me. And Bacon Shart says, I think he means Clay Davis is in Cocaine Bear, I guess.
Yes.
Isaiah Whitlock Jr.
Mm-hmm.
Have any of you seen Cocaine Bear?
Not yet. I'm curious. I'd give it a watch.
Yeah, I like to watch everything almost everything that's in like the pop culture buzz, like that everybody's watching. So even if it sucks, like I want to be up to speed on it. So I'll probably watch that.
He says it's mid.
I'd
Do
rather
you guys use that
terrible.
term?
I don't.
Do you
like
guys
it.
refer to things as mid?
I'm not
Have
a
you
big
got-
fan, but I'm old, so it's not for me. It's fine.
Yeah. Rob,
It comes from gaming.
Infrequently, I would use it.
what was the last thing you called mid, Rob?
His mid.
Weed. It came from weed.
No, I
It didn't
think
come
it
from
came
gaming. It
from
came from weed. From mids.
I think it
mid.
came-
Like there's top shelf and mids.
I don't
middle shelf.
I don't think so. I thought it was.
That's
like-
where I first.
I thought
heard
the
the term.
I thought the stoners appropriated it from gaming. Like it was
Well, how is it referenced in gaming?
like a mid-tier fighting game characters would be mid. Like you're either a S tier or you're like A tier, or you're mid or you're terrible. Like the mid characters were.
I feel like I heard this S tier thing for the first time yesterday, and it very much confused me. Why is it S and then A? Explain that.
It's like A, B, C, D, and then the top one is S tier, like they're gods, like they're super. S is for super, I think.
Okay.
I could be wrong on
So
what the S is, but there's a
So-
great video that someone put in the Discord of the last 3 U.S. presidents ranking some fighting game characters by how high.
Oh, like an AI ranking.
Yeah, they
Like
use the AI voice.
So I looked up
Superior.
mid on Know Your Meme, which is the official encyclopedia of memes. And it says mid is a slang term meaning mediocre or mid-tier quality. The slang word was initially used in cannabis culture to define the grade of marijuana, and later music discussions to describe albums and artists.
Okay.
In October 2021, the word entered general internet slang following viral discussions of Drake's album Certified Lover Boy and a viral TikTok.
Which is also
Okay.
Rob's Grinder username.
I stand corrected. I thought it came from gaming and then found its way into smoking. But also, Bacon Short said, "Oh yeah, 3D like Street Fighter." I do, but there's an asterisk. I'm very out of touch with the latest developments in fighting games because I just am old and have like a lot of life stuff to do, so I don't keep up with gaming. I'd love to, but I'm gonna try to like get into Street Fighter 6. Try to carve out some time to do that, but I'm old. I used to be a god tier Street Fighter and Mortal Kombat player, but when I was young, but I'm just
You
not.
miss the old Street Fighter.
Everyone in our chat who plays fighting games would probably wipe the floor with me nowadays.
Yeah, you got to work on that muscle. That's why I just recently got a Switch exclusively to play old Mario
gaming.
games.
Oh, okay. Just check.
Yeah. A Nintendo Switch.
Beat that ass raw.
And well, what you're gonna put like a condom? How else?
No, raw like bloody and fleshy,
Oh,
like red raw,
like
with a Switch.
I see.
Spanking.
But yeah, like I play old games that I used to excel at, and just my hand-eye coordination is not where it used to be when I would.
But it's also
be
a
playing
different
5 hours a day.
It's different muscle memory because it's a different console.
Sure,
That's got to be part of it too, right?
Yeah, part of it. But just you don't have the hours of work in the timing, like to get the timing in.
What games are you playing that you used to play?
Mario. I'm going through. I never had a Super Nintendo, so I'm doing the Super Mario. Right now, I'm doing Mario Maker 2, which is really fun. Basically, the gimmick is you can create your own Mario levels, but they also have a full story mode of playing Mario levels. So they basically take all the engines of the side-scroller Mario games. So the NES version, there's the Mario 1 version, the Mario 3 version, and then the Super NES version, and then the like Wii U, like the modern version of the game with the
Sunshine
graphics.
Mario.
Like there's all the power-ups. And so like each level is a different kind of iteration of like a familiar type of level you would have in one of those games, but a totally new level. So it's been really fun to kind of go through all of it. And then beyond that, I have a goal to beat Super Mario Brothers, like the Super Nintendo game, the one with Yoshi. Because I never.
Isn't that Super Mario World?
Super Mario, whatever it is, whatever.
That's great. You've never beat that ever? You didn't have like a friend who had the Super Nintendo?
I mean, I played it. Yeah. But I didn't have enough time to beat the game. I would only play a few levels.
Then
what were you doing?
Welcome.
Yeah, then they kicked me out. Wait, what was that?
What were you doing that you were so busy?
No, he was just getting kicked out of friends' house.
Yeah, my friends didn't want to hang out with me. They wanted to play.
He's just here for the Super Nintendo. He hasn't spoken to me in 3 hours. Get out.
My parents decided to get the Genesis. I'm guessing probably because the Genesis was a little cheaper at the time, which is understandable.
You let your parents make that decision? How did that work? Did you give them the choice of I need a system, you can pick which, or they just showed up one day with a video game for you? Like
No,
how?
he really wanted a Super Nintendo, and they were just like, "You'll play Genesis. Get over it. Stop whining."
Probably.
That's the one
but
that fell off the truck.
No. I would get everything. No, everything was Toys R Us was my go-to spot. But the
Okay.
thing is, I would be like on a 2-year back cycle, so I would only get the games once they were at the like $5-10 kind of super markdowns. Like
Oh
that's when I
God.
would really,
Okay.
really dive in. Like I would never get a game ever that was brand new. You know, like
She went
unheard of.
to she went to D2 and got him a Game Kid.
No, I Genesis was the last console. I
Worked
think
on
just
watch
after
batteries.
that, my next console was a PC, and I just got hooked on. I just stopped playing video games after. I just got hooked on the internet.
I
Torn.
played the last Mortal Kombat game on PC for the first time. Any of these iterations of games that I've played on a PC, because I never really invested in a rig that could like play anything like at that kind of speed, you know. So I was just let me. I got a real good computer because I'm editing video all the time and doing stuff for school. So I'm like, let me get like a game that I could run now, and it was great. I would never. I feel like I don't even want to play with consoles anymore. Except some games only come out on consoles, which sucks.
Yeah, Steam is pretty prevalent though. They're doing a good job. But all right, well, let's go through our Spotify playlist. Every week, we each pick a song. We throw it up on our playlist, and it's a big one. You can search for it on Spotify. It's the RIPL Livecast Music Break. And this week, I got a really fun song. Spotify, if you listen to Spotify enough, they really kind of figure out your music taste. I have to say, their algorithm is really good. They recommended, and every week they make you a playlist called Discover Weekly with songs they think you would like based on your previous listens. And they recommended this artist, Fire Tools, and it's really, really fun. The song is called Soda Lake with Game Genie, and the vibe is
Speaking of video
basically
games, there you go, Game Genie.
yeah, Game Genie ruled. The vibe here is it's like easy core, like light kind of jazzy prog with black metal vocals, and it works. It's really nice. Bacon Charts knows what I'm talking about. Bacon Charts says Fire Tools is sweet. I was completely oblivious to it until Spotify made me aware of this wonderful project. It is a one-person project. You should check it out. That's my pick. Darren, what did you pick?
My pick was "Give Me Tonight" by the great Shannon, the freestyle artist who shares a name with our new announcer. And I've been listening to a bunch of freestyle, and it's partially because I'm working on a screenplay that heavily features prominent freestyle artists and music as part of the soundtrack. So I've been listening. I just not because of writing it. It just got me in that mood to listen to that kind of stuff.
Have
Did I
you
send
mentioned
my
that on the show
freestyle
before?
playlist?
That what about the screenplay?
Yeah.
No, because I just started like a couple of weeks ago.
Can you tell us anything more about it, or is it too much in the infancy stage?
I don't want to give too much away, but it's like it's instead in the late '80s, and it's in New York City, and it's got it intersects with freestyle culture.
Does Vinny Stigma have an appearance?
People like Vinny Stigma have an
Okay.
appearance, not specifically him.
Can you work in the phrase boondoggle motherfucker?
Oh, damn right I will. I'm gonna drop in as many livecast memes as I can.
Nice.
Maybe we'll see Douglas Levison as a young man also.
Oh my God.
Well, relatively young, I guess. 20s and 30s he would be, right?
Who would you cast to play a 30-year-old Douglas Levison?
Oh,
If you could cast anyone.
The 30 years old is tough. I was going to say Danny DeVito would be a perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, 30 years old. I don't know. I think it'd have to be an unknown, right? Who's
Jonah Hill, maybe?
or Andy Milonakis?
Oh, yeah, because he could be. He's probably the same age as Douglas Levison, but he still looks like he's only 30. That's perfect.
And that probably would be who I'd go with. He could do that annoying shrill voice too.
Yeah,
but yeah,
for sure.
That got me in the mood for freestyle. Shannon is, as Rob said, wonderful, and also it's related to the Livecast because of Shannon St. Mainframe.
That's awesome.
That's my song.
Interesting. Yeah, I said, Darren, I just sent you a link to my Latin freestyle playlist.
Oh, thank you. Definitely
It has
check
all
that
that. Give Me Tonight was actually in it, but now that I'm
Oh.
looking, the version that I had is no longer on Spotify. So
Okay.
I'm adding other. Actually, a lot of Shannon stuff. All the Shannon stuff that I put in. I guess one of her best ofs got taken off Spotify.
Oh, okay.
So,
That's fine.
but I really love Shannon. I love Cynthia. The whole Latin freestyle universe is so fascinating to me because it only happened in Puerto Rico and in New York.
Yeah, it didn't spread. They didn't
Yeah.
spread the word very well. They didn't.
Yeah, it's like but like some of these songs are just so infectious.
I think it's like an insular thing. Like I think a lot of the feeling about when I talk to people about who love that music from that were alive at that time was like, this is our thing. Like fuck you. It was a bit of like punk in a way. Like when other people would do things that sounded like freestyle, they'd get offended rather than seeing people taking up the mantle. You know.
Yeah. And for me, like my exposure to it was exclusively on the streets of New York. Like it's not like I had somebody telling me about freestyle. It's just like I just remember all these songs because they were just being blasted constantly in public places,
out of cars.
And like it just like there's certain songs, like there's this Crystal Water song in this playlist that like I just immediately can see myself on a summer day, like take myself back to this one specific moment just because of the song, and I love it.
Same here, exactly the same thing. And it's Stevie B, Lisa Cult Jam.
Was that
very summery music. And there was a radio station here too. Well, all the dance stations. Anytime there was a dance station, you know how they play musical chairs and they whatever happens to be a dance station at that time. But when you would get to like 11:30 or midnight on a weekend night, they would just play freestyle like straight through. Just some DJ would just play freestyle music. That's so good.
That's how Matt Pinfield got his start, I think.
Oh.
Definitely not.
I'm sure he gets into some freestyle privately.
Probably, yeah. He could probably name drop artists we've never even heard of. Just because he's Matt Pinfield.
He's an open-minded guy, even though he's a rock guy. You know.
Yeah. We should have him back on the show. He was a delight.
Love to.
And then the following week we'll have Stevie B.
And he was a bummer in a way. Not he didn't do anything wrong, but it was like he was on to talk about somebody that passed away, right? I mean, like, it's just slipping my mind now who it was, but
I don't remember.
Wasn't he?
I don't know. I think he was promoting a podcast or something.
I thought he was talking. Oh, I might be thinking of a different interview then. I thought someone just died and we had someone on that he might have spent some time talking about it.
I think it might have been like a coincidental thing where we had him on at the same time as this was in the news, so we asked him to talk about it. But I don't know that that's why we had him on.
Right.
But I also don't remember who it was.
But he talked about a lot of stuff, and he's a lovely, lovely, lovely human being.
So, Sid, what was your pick?
I picked The Outdoor Type by the Lemonheads, which is not my favorite Lemonheads song, but it is my favorite Lemonheads lyrics because it's all about how he lied to a girl saying he was very outdoorsy to get her to go out with him, and now he's apologizing because he never wants to leave the house. And it features lyrics about how he doesn't want to go mountain climbing with her because what if there's something cool on TV and he misses it? And like that's sort of my excuse for everything. So he's like, the weird thing with him is though that he was a very deep heroin addict for a very long time, and you have to go outside to score heroin. So at least for that he was the outdoor type, but for this girl he was not.
Is there a line in there about I can't believe I wasted my 8th pick on a draft on a guy that just had Tommy John surgery? Because then it'll be perfectly you.
Thankfully my drafts haven't happened yet.
Oh, okay.
But I'm sure that's coming. Fucking World Baseball Classic.
Oh yeah. I still like the WBC. I'm not going to blame, although I'm still very upset that the Mets lost a prominent player to it. But
that injury footage is the only WBC footage I've seen in my life.
Wow,
that's how much of it I've watched.
I love it. I look forward to it every time.
I'm a Mets fan. I can't muster up. It's the same reason I don't really watch like Olympic basketball or anything. I root for the team that I root for. Like this doesn't mean anything to me. I don't know.
I understand. Well, Rob, he got hurt celebrating a win. They were just not even.
I told you
playing.
about this, Rob.
Yeah, I wanted the listeners to know.
Yes.
Mhm.
Brutal.
Yeah, it's a very shitty way to get injured, I think.
I still
also,
love the WBC. They had this crazy exciting game last night too in this
the World
quarterfinal.
Bodybuilding Competition. Is that what we're talking about?
That too. Very exciting. Stimulating.
The White Boy Championships, Rob. You could enter.
Yeah, Shifty Shortcake, number one contender. And also Lord Miles.
Oh, well, he lost. He's eliminated.
He's MIA at the moment.
He got eliminated doing an extracurricular activity. He wasn't in the white boy land.
Good point.
Just like
going to
Edwin Diaz.
Afghanistan is like an exhibition game. What a waste.
Diaz being out for the season makes me so sad, said Snowberry Salad. Yeah, me too. But you know what's not even sadder, but also sad is that they didn't even like win the WBC for him. They just lost.
Oh, they
The
did.
Puerto Rican team wound up losing the next day after he got destroyed.
They were probably so shell shocked from what happened. They were like scared to do anything good because they might celebrate and hurt themselves too. Like,
They lost to Mexico.
no,
Randy Arosarena, game-saving catch.
that dude is clutch as fuck.
Mm-hmm.
So before we get out, I want to mention our Patreon. If you want a little more live cast in your life, we could do 2 bonus episodes a month. Sid does a weekly TV column. You can go to patreon.com/RIP Livecast. $5 a month gets you access. This month, we just posted a watch along of the recently discovered Clerks live action pilot. And we also did a watch along of an old Clerks animated episode, which was fun. And earlier in the month, we did basically a full episode where we did hypothetical questions similar to the question about the toilet.
Yeah.
Very similar to that. And we did a full episode of that. And there's tons of great stuff. There's watch alongs of movies and documentaries like the black metal documentary Until the Light Takes Us, the Mean Man documentary, the Chris Holmes story, which was what a journey watching that documentary, and plenty of other fun stuff in there. And you could watch along with us. Patreon.com/RIP Livecast. $5 a month gets you access to all that stuff. You want to throw us a few extra bones, $10 a month. You're a top Livecast fan of the week. And you get to get a shout out at the end of the show, which is right now.
Come on, a pussy.
Yes. Please bring
I was
back
just gonna
that accent.
Let's see here. Loading up the. Did I accidentally delete your?
Do you need me to put the names in the chat?
Yes, please. Oh, here we go. I found it. All right. Listen, Eric, you wanna go back on tour, but I talked to Benjamin and he doesn't want to play anymore. And I lent Dan my bass drum because I heard the way he played. He sounded worse than Sam I Am. I said, you can't do that. You got to use my bass drum. And it's all right. Use my tricks. Here, borrow Mindy Mayer's kipper. You go play at Massachusetts. And now they're big stars and they forget about me. And I'm over here drinking my cattle decaf. And look, I know that Hugo likes tacos. And it's just been too much. Take your ass to Lando Danks. Drink a little LaCroix with Corey and Scotty H. And then Doug McMinn will come over and he'll say, hey, you want to go on tour again? And I go, oh, look, if we're touring, I don't want to play to a tape. I want to play live. I want to play like Douglas. Who are you, Levison? I want to play live. I want to walk Bob Dylan to the stage. And I want to get on the mic. And I want to say, hey, guys, it's Josh.
That version of Carmine is like 30 years older than the earlier version you've did in the episode. I like it. He aged during the show.
There's my voice. All right, that's our show, folks. Thanks for tuning in. We'll see you next week. And we kiss you. Bye-bye.
Welcome back, Bacon Shorts. Nice to see you.
See ya.